We continue with the regional champion Melbourne Bulldogs, and I'm here with sophomore Hailey Turner and senior Navaeh Loveridge, and senior gets privilege. So I'm going to ask senior question first. All right, Navaeh, I thought that the attitude that you had early in that game on Saturday was perfect. And what I mean by that is I said this team plays the game like they play a contact sport. And I thought you exemplified that. Lifted your team up, kind of got that nasty, I'm going to come get you. But when it was all said and done and that third out finally happened, take me through how you were feeling.
Well, the whole game, I kind of, like you said, was, really aggressive. I was playing like it was my last, and we went all those innings without scoring. I was one of the only ones to get on base. And obviously, I couldn't be mad at my other teammates because I also K'd. I get it, But as soon as they got that double play, I was like, it's over. I don't know. I just ran to Jazzy. I grabbed her because she does most of the work. We just stand out there in the field and look good, and she just pitches. So I don't know.
It was great. It was great. Absolutely great. You, on the other hand, perfectly timed suicide squeeze on the bunt. Take me through that sequence. First of all, you get hit, start the inning. Nice job there. You get hit. You go to second on the bunt by Nadia. Take third as Allie rounds second there. Take me through that sequence. When did you know? I mean, look, if she does anything other than what she did, you're out.
Yeah.
Okay? So take me through that.
So, I started out, I was like, okay, I got to, just put the ball in play. So I was like, I'm just going to bunt. So I bunted, and it went straight up in the air, and I was so scared. I was like, oh, God, this is where it ends.
Right.
And then they both, collided, and I turned around, and they're both on the ground, and I was like, oh, God, this is exactly what happened in the Lake Brantley game. This is when we scored. So I was like, oh, gosh.
Were you just winning run there, too?
Yes. So I bunted, and then that happened, and then I got hit right in the rib, so I fell down, and then I took first.
That hurt, though, because she threw the ball hard.
Right into the rib. So then I was on third eventually, and then I was like, okay, I got, Alicia's got this. She's going to bunt it. It's going to be good. So she bunts, and I don't think I've ever ran that fast. I just gunned it. I was like.
Perfectly.
Yeah. I just, ran my butt off.
The game-winning run you score in two of the most hard-fought, biggest victories this year. That's pretty cool for a sophomore, right? I mean, you got to admit. What did you, what do you not? I guess what I'm trying to say here is you're getting to a Final Four as a sophomore. What are you taking into this? What have you learned so far from these great leaders and these captains on this team?
I think the key is to have confidence and be loose, and have fun. Because if you're not having fun, then you don't have that same mentality of oh, I got this. We're gonna do good. So I just think having fun and having confidence.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. Navaeh, you watch these younger players develop this year, like Hailey come out of her shell, as the season progresses. What is the message that you and Allie and Sophia and so forth and so on, what message have you been telling these underclassmen all year?
I think that the main thing that we try to push into their brain is they're really good. Most of our team is made out of sophomores, and I feel really confident with Hailey Turner coming in next season and playing center field. I'm very confident in all of them, and they're all just really good.
What's it mean, a couple of years ago, you and I talked about this last year, to make the transfer over here to play with the friends that you wanted to play with, and now you get to go do this. Looking back, how does it all feel to know that exactly the way you wanted this to play out, it's playing out?
Right, like I was going to say, this was our plan all along to make it. Last year we fell a little short, and it was obviously very devastating for us. But this year, we knew from the beginning of the season, we had a goal. We were pissed because last year. So we knew we had to come out strong, and we did. We have a couple losses, but they really are just we were off those games. But it really doesn't matter because we're going to come in this weekend and blow everyone out of the water.
What does it mean? Navaeh, no filter Loveridge. I love it. What is it? What you learned last year on that final out right here in that regional semifinal game against Veer? Because that was a really good team last year too that you guys had, and you just I don't know, ran up against Skylar that day. But what did you learn that day that you took into this season?
This season, definitely I've changed because, like, last season we had beat them 2 times previously earlier in the season. So we kind of took it lightly. We were like, yeah, whatever, we play them again. Like, everyone come out, like, we're going to win, da-da-da. And then we end up losing. So this year I think that we've really done a good job at, like, looking at film and making adjustments in practice. For example, we're working on the pitches that the pitcher we are going to face throws. So I think that we just need to make more, we have made more adjustments in practice.
The outfield, has been phenomenal this year. And do you feel a burden and a responsibility, burden in a good way, that as a sophomore you are counted on to be, that player out there too?
I just think that you got to give it your all in the outfield. Like, you're the last resort in the field, so you got to dive for anything, run your hardest to any ball in the outfield, throw it in as fast as you can to the right spot. It's just a lot of mental preparing.
All right, let's talk about mental preparation because, again, on Friday you're going to face another sophomore pitcher who throws nothing but strikes. This one from the left side of the circle. How do you continuously prepare for pitchers like Oxley and this young lady you're going to face this week? How do you get ready for, the strike is coming, how fast it's coming. How can you better yourself to be ready for that?
Like Navaeh was saying, a lot of watching film, and especially for these kind of pitchers who pitch everywhere, who will throw you in, throw you out, up and down. I think it's a lot of pitch selection. So you got to get your pitch. You can't be swinging at balls that are in the dirt or above your head, even the slightest, because it just won't come out how you want it. So you got to be smart. Smart,
patient too, right? I thought you out. I mean, this is not a word, but I thought you out-patiented them on Saturday. I mean, obviously 9 innings in, and between the two teams combined, there were 34 strikeouts after 8 innings. So you had to be more patient. What changed in that 9th inning?
Well, I think, like I explained to you before, I knew as soon as we stepped on the field, even Friday, I was like, we have this in the bag. We all had the mindset that no one's really better than us. And I know, like you said, no filter, but it's just how it is realistically. There's no one better than us. And if you think that, that's how it will be and that's the outcome you will get. So we stepped on the field kind of really confident, and we were confident. We were making contact. Not a lot of us were striking out. And when we were, we were fouling off and stuff. So we knew it was coming. We knew one of the innings they were going to get lazy like they did, and then we ended up scoring. But we just had to keep our energy up and keep the mindset that we're better than everyone.
And you know what? As I continuously say, and as I've said all year, I think it's going to pay dividends for this team because I do think they leave Claremont with the biggest trophy in 6A this weekend. For sophomore Hailey Turner and senior Navaeh Loveridge, I'm Alex Lauderzinski for the Brevard Sports Network. Y'all killed that. All right, we continue with the region champ, Melbourne Bulldogs, and we continue with 2 of the captains here on the team. To my left, Sofia Valcourt, and to my right, Allyssa Turner. Sofia, I'll start with you. Man, I tell you, just what a weekend. 4 years now. I got 2 seniors here for the first time in the interview process. For the both of you, this has definitely been a process. What was it like on Saturday when you caught that final out on that double play? I know you've played it over 1,000 times in your mind. Was it everything you thought it would be?
Oh, for sure, and then some. I've never won a game that big in my life that's had that weight for me. So being able to get the final out really meant a lot to me. So I'm just yeah, I did it. And in the video, in the footage of the double play, as soon as I get the out, I just throw the ball in the air. I throw the glove in the air, you see it, and we charge the mound to give everyone congratulations and stuff like that. But it's a feeling that's unmatched. I don't think I could ever replicate that feeling unless we win a state championship.
Yeah, I was going to say, there is one other shot to do that coming up this weekend. Allie, I got to talk to you about the big play that you made in the game, and it was really set the tone for the entire inning. After you walked, you dared them. You just got out there and dared her to throw the ball, and I think anybody watching at home knew if they had any sense they wouldn't do it they didn't do it. You take the bag, and then what that really does is open up the entire playbook for Coach Edel. Take me through your mindset as soon as you got ball 4. When did you know this was what you were going to do?
As soon as I saw that pitch go wild, I threw my bat and started sprinting to first, and I knew that Coach Dan would want me to go to 2, and I rounded the bag, and I looked over. He was pointing at me to go, so I did a little jog to get there to stop in case they did throw it, because I never want to run into a tag. That's rule number 1 out here. Well, rule number 1 is don't get dead, and then rule number 2 is never run into a tag. So as soon as I saw that Hailey was going to go to third base on the wild pitch, I was like, okay, this is a perfect opportunity to get a run across. So I did it, and then I was watching the pitcher, and she didn't want to throw it to send Hailey home. So then I just made up my mind and decided to sprint to second, and then we were both there.
You know, ladies, this is the first time I've had the pleasure of talking to both of you as official graduates of Melbourne High School. What does it feel like to just show up and practice?
Well, I told a couple of my other teachers, I'm like, I don't really feel like I've graduated because I still have to come here every day for the next week. So I don't feel like a graduate of life yet, but I'm sure next week it's going to hit me like a truck when I don't have to go to practice anymore. I'm not going to see these girls anymore. So I'll be an emotional wreck next week, but this week I'm sitting pretty waiting for my state ring.
I got you. And how about you?
I feel the exact same way. The only thing that is really different is seeing other people not on the team that I see every day at school, but other than that, I'm still taking time out of my day to come to this actual school and still practice with my best friends, and it hasn't hit me at all. My friend Navaeh, she made a TikTok earlier today and put in a bunch of old pictures and memories of all 3 of us playing throughout the years, and it made me cry a little, but it for sure has not hit me yet.
No filter, Navaeh. I can't wait to see this TikTok. So I guess my next question is, look, ladies, you seniors have been through a lot this year. Let's think about this. When you were on this team 4 years ago, there was a group of seniors here that, I don't know, for better or for worse, I didn't sense the camaraderie that you have with, say, a team like this, for example. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. But I think that you all learned how maybe something like that felt and swore that would not be the case moving forward. I watched you two and others take leadership of this team and do things with this team this year that, people thought was going to happen in terms of wins or losses, but you seem to have had fun the whole way doing it. Then you hit the off the field turmoil, but yet you pull through it together as a family. Looking back on all of this, tell me in your own words the ride this 4 years has been.
Well, I transferred here my sophomore year, which was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made.
You came from Holy Trinity, right?
I did. I loved Holy Trinity, don't get me wrong, but just being able to play with my lifelong best friends again. I've been playing with Sophia since I was 12 years old, probably younger, I think. But just the 3 years I've spent here have made me develop as a person and grow my character even more and just learn lessons throughout the game and basically just get mentally tougher and make so many memories along the way. It's just been amazing.
It's funny because you've been a starter for 6 years playing softball. Started for 6 years playing softball. How about for you as you look back over your time here? You've been here the entire time. Tell me.
It's definitely a lot different than my freshman and sophomore year. I'm not going to diss them because, obviously, we were friends and stuff like that. But the dynamic is definitely different. And I think when Allie, Navaeh, and I stepped into, the leadership role, not really last year, but this year, we kind of recognized that, if we really are serious about making this run, we need to be cohesive and not cohesive, on the field and then, stab each other in the back, outside of softball. We're not forced to be friends here. I mean, we're teammates, but we're not forced to be friends here. And I think that's also beneficial because, we recognize that obviously me, Allie, and Navaeh are closer than others on the team, but that doesn't diminish the fact that we're teammates. Right. And so that being said, we need to act as teammates and behave as such on and off the field so that way we can carry that chemistry in the classroom, out of the classroom. And when everything is well-rounded like that, that's what helps you get to the state where we are right now.
That is perfectly said.
With this group, we've been so lucky. Everyone here, they're very nice and super they're easy to talk to and they're really easy to lead, and I think that's definitely given us the benefit.
You know, you make up a good point. Nobody's saying anything about the teams before them, but you win with different dynamics, and that's what Sophia's saying. Teams have different types of leadership styles. These young ladies chose to go out here and lead by being friends on and off the field, and not every team can do that. Look, I've played on a lot of teams in my life, and there are a lot of teammates. For better or for worse, I wish we're never teammates off the field, but on the field, I love playing with them. It's just a fact of life. But it has been fun to watch, and I think it has also made the two of you exceptional leaders and ready for Belmont and ready for FAMU. And tell me about that. We haven't had a chance to talk about your college decisions. I've posted it, but I haven't asked you about it. Why Belmont?
I just love everything about it. The whole atmosphere and the people I've talked to when I went on my visit, and the coaches were they're just perfect. I don't know. There's no other words. I just felt at home when I went on campus and talked to other girls on the team, because the freshmen were in charge of our whole official visit night, and they took us to go out to eat and visit their dorms and just hang out with them, and I just felt like I fit in perfectly.
That was you.
It was me.
How about for you, FAMU?
I kind of have to say the same thing. Well, okay, fun fact. I didn't know Florida A&M was even a school until last summer. I met them at a camp, at a Santa Fe camp, and the coach introduced herself to me. I introduced myself to the coach, and she was like, have you ever heard of us? I was like, no, but I'm going to do research because I really like you guys, because you're a really good coach, and I would love to play for you. And then I saw her at camps ever since. And then kind of the same thing with Allie on my official visit. The girls were just so welcoming and inviting. And when we did do our activities together, as a newcomer with the team, they took me to their friends' dorms. They introduced me to their friends. The people at FAMU, not just the softball team, but the students of FAMU are just so inviting, so welcoming. And everyone is like that. I've spoken to so many alumni since I've committed, because it's a really big deal to go to FAMU.
It is. There's a lot of alumni here in Brevard County.
Yes, sir. So that being said, when people find out you're going to FAMU, they're like, oh my God, you're going to be a Rattler. Welcome to the Hill. And I'm like, yeah, welcome to the Hill. It's so exciting to be a part of that little community.
You're definitely in. Well, ladies, final question for the both of you. And we've talked about everything but the game this week. You're facing another tough sophomore pitcher who throws heat, 284 strikeouts. She's going to be throwing from the left side of the circle. What'd you learn going up against Oxley that you can take into this weekend?
Definitely look down in the strike zone. Don't chase anything that's up or up past my shoulders, because everything's just going to keep rising. And I learned to just swing through the ball and stay on top instead of trying to lift everything.
I tell you, as she can spray the ball, power hit it, smack it, that's harder said than done when that pitch is right here and looks appetizing. How about for you?
Well, I only had one at bat in the regional game, but I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, that being said, I didn't think I saw enough pitches. But what I did see was, I do agree with Allie, stay anything above the elbow, leave it for that rise ball, and anything at the waist is just, it's golden. That's going to be your pitch.
I'll just say this: I thought Allyssa did a great job at first base, but I was very happy to see you get in there and catch that final out. I was really pleased with that. Happy to see that. Ladies, good luck this weekend. You know what? I'm here to tell you that I don't think there's a bigger fan of this program than me. I'm very excited, other than your parents and your coaches in college. I'm very excited to see what transpires this weekend. We'll be rooting you on right here. Well, I'll be there, right here from Brevard County. So, for Sofia Valcourt and Hailey Turner, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski for the Brevard Sports Network.